It all started with cats. At first, they just seemed a little more aggressive than usual, hissing and clawing at anyone who got too close. But then they started attacking people, leaving deep scratches and bite marks that took weeks to heal. Next were the dogs, who barked and growled at their owners and chased anyone who dared to pass by their yards. At first, people thought it was just a coincidence. Maybe there is a new animal in the neighborhood, or maybe all the pets got into something they shouldn't have done. But as the attacks continued and more pets turned into vicious killers, people began to realize that something was seriously wrong. The local veterinarian was the first to suspect a curse. She had seen something similar before, in a small town in Romania, where villagers angered a group of gypsies. Gypsies cursed the city as pets, turning them into demonic creatures that terrorized the streets. At first, no one wanted to believe in the veterinarian's theory. But as the attacks continued and people began to fear for their lives, they turned to her for help. The vet knew what had to be done. She gathered a group of volunteers and led them into the forest, to the place where she found the remains of a small animal. The ground was covered with strange symbols drawn in blood. The vet explained that the curse can only be lifted if they find the person who cast it and destroy the source of their power. But, searching the forest, they realized that they were not alone. Something was watching them, something dark and evil. They could hear the sound of leaves rustling and branches crunching under their feet, but whenever they turned around to look, there was nothing there. As they neared the center of the forest, they began to hear a low chant, similar to a prayer, uttered in a language they did not understand. The singing grew louder, and they saw a figure come out from behind the trees. It was a woman dressed in a tattered black robe and carrying a small, ornate casket. Her eyes shone with an otherworldly light, and she smiled a wicked smile as she approached them. The vat recognized her as a witch who had been banished from the city many years ago. The witch returned, wanting revenge for the way she was treated. She opened the box, and a dark mist spilled out, swirling around a group of volunteers. The pets, now completely transformed into demonic creatures, emerged from the mist and attacked. The volunteers resisted, using for self-defense any weapon they could find. Some of them were bitten or scratched, but they continued to fight, determined to break the curse. Finally, the veterinarian managed to snatch the box from the witch's hands and smash it on the ground. The fog cleared, and the pets returned to their usual, obedient appearance. The witch disappeared, but the city was never the same. People were still talking about the curse of the neighborhood pets and the night they fought to get it off. But no one has ever forgotten the lesson they learned. Sometimes even the sweetest and most affectionate creatures can turn into the most terrible monsters.